Hey, what is going on, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can dye your furniture items in Once Human. Now, this is a brand new feature that they just added in the 1.4.4 update. So if this video ends up helping you out, definitely drop a like down below to help support the channel. And also, if you end up doing a really cool build with these furniture dyes, share them in our Discord community. We always have people in there sharing some really awesome builds. So definitely drop some screenshots. I would love to see it. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to need is the designer's workstation. So you can unlock this in your mimetic screen. If you head over to the last tab for building, you'll see that there is a node here for designer's workstation. So make sure you have that unlocked. Now the designer's workstation can be used to actually find new furniture formulas, but you'll notice that there is a new option called furniture dye. So if we hit H right here, we'll end up in the furniture dye menu. And I believe this only works for formulas that you've unlocked. I don't believe you're actually able to dye single-use items. So for example, in the lifestyle items here, these are two that I definitely have the formula for. There's also a category for furnishing items. I actually don't have any of them in here that can be dyed. And then the last one here is miscellaneous. I have a bathtub and a sink in here. So just keep that in mind. I believe you do need the formulas in order to actually dye these items. Also, it's important to know that there is currently just a limited amount of items that you can dye and a limited amount of dyes that are in the game. They will be expanding on this in the future, but I believe right now there's only 17 items that can be dyed, and there's only about 11 dyes in the game that you can actually apply. So now that we're in the dye menu here, you have two different options. You can craft the item or you can click view. If you click view, you'll see all the different dyes that you can have. There are up to 3 zones that you can dye. Unfortunately, the items I have only have 1 zone that allows you to dye, but certain items can have 2, certain items can have up to 3. So you might be able to customize it a bit more, but for the items I have, I can only dye the first zone. So in order to apply these dyes, every dye is going to require Stardust dye and something else. So I'll explain how to get Stardust dye in just a second, but most of these dyes require different color hydrangeas, except for a few of them. This one requires deviated saffron, this requires deviated ice melon, and this one requires deviated mint, but pretty much all of the other ones just require different color hydrangeas. And I'll explain how to get different color hydrangeas in just a moment as well. These are also just the basic paint types that you have right here. There is another tab here for kind of the deluxe paint types. They only have one of them in there right now called Gilded Marble, and this actually requires the Stardust dye plus 200 gold ore, 200 silver ore, and gravel. So let me just go ahead and apply one of these dyes so you can see how it works, and then I'll explain how to get these different materials. So I have enough right here for the rosewood color for this American Low cabinet, so I'm just going to click on that and click confirm, and there we go. We have now crafted it, and it will appear in your backpack in the construction tab here. There's a big space here. I'm not really sure why, but you can see it says paint zone 1 rosewood. So if I go ahead and use this and place it down, you'll see that it does look different than the standard American Low cabinet. So let's talk about how to get those different materials. First up is Stardust dye. This is the easiest one to get because all you have to do is head over to the challenge shop here, or the season shop. If you hop in there and go to the other tab, you will see that you can just buy Stardust dye straight up. So you have a monthly limit of 500 Stardust dye. Each one costs 2 Mitsuko's marks. So this is just the easiest one to get because you can just buy it directly from this shop. And as for the hydrangeas, what I found is that you can only find seeds for yellow and blue hydrangeas. So when you plant those, most of the time they will end up just giving you the yellow hydrangea or the blue hydrangea, but there is a chance that they actually mutate into a different color like red, white, or black. And you can find these hydrangea seeds in like level 40 plus areas. I think a great place to go is actually the Blackfell crate run. You can usually get a decent amount of seeds just doing this. I actually have a video of how to actually do this crate run, and it's a really great one just for getting resources in general. So I'll link that video in the description down below if you are interested. Now, the mutations that happen with the hydrangeas are not technically deviated, right? They're just kind of mutations from these normal plants, but you can get deviated hydrangeas. However, I don't believe any of the furniture dyes require a deviated hydrangea right now. And the hydrangeas will show up in the construction tab here because they're technically a territory decor item. So you can see I have some yellow ones, some blue ones, I have deviated hydrangeas, and I also have a red one, which is a mutation of either the yellow or the blue. And as for growing like the deviated ice melons and the deviated deviated saffron and those deviated items, I actually have a video on how to increase your chances of growing deviated plants, so I will also link that down in the description below if you're interested. And the last thing is really about the gold and silver. If you're looking to make that marble dye, I have found that it's actually a lot harder right now to get gold ore, and I think it's either because those gold ore spawns were nerfed with the latest update, or because now they're a little bit more useful. People are just going and collecting them more often, so they're just harder to find. I have found though that it's not that hard to find silver, especially in this area right here, which is west of White Cliff. If you just go around the perimeter of this kind of big ice lake, you'll be able to find a decent amount of silver there, especially if you pop a canned seafood and oil, you'll be able to get a decent amount of it. But I've also normally found gold around this area. You can see I've kind of marked a few spots where gold might be. That's Star Trace ore, but there are a few spots here where there is gold. Usually, however, I've gone to all these spots, I've checked on multiple worlds, and I just haven't been able to find any gold whatsoever. So let me know down in the comments below, have you found a reliable gold spawn area after this latest update? Because I was talking with some people in world chat and they were saying that these gold spawns actually have been nerfed, but I wasn't able to find confirmation for that. So there you have it, folks. That is how you can dye furniture items in Once Human. You get the designer's workstation, you grow some hydrangeas or get some other plants that you can use for different dyes, and then you just apply those dyes as you craft the item at the designer's workstation. So let me know kind of which dyes you're interested in. What do you think about the dye system overall? Is it something you've been waiting for? And again, just as a reminder, if you do anything cool with your builds and you have some really awesome builds with all these dyes, definitely drop them in the Discord. We have a screenshots channel over in there where I'm happy to check out all your cool builds. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, be sure to like and subscribe to help support the channel. But without further ado, this is the end of the video. I don't know why I said without further ado, but I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, folks.